through them easily. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Wait. Okay. Good morning, Roz. Yeah.
Wait.
I'm ready. I'm having problems. Okay. All right. Wait. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good morning, Roz. Thanks for coming back in today. How are things going?
It's been kind of a tough week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what happened?
Well, it's been pretty horrible. I don't have a job, well, not a real one, and I need money. But I mean, I've got resources in SNAP, but it's not enough, you know? I have to feed myself and Lois and Ruth. Plus, I need to get a car to get myself and the kids to all the places that we need to go, or I'm going to lose them.
Right. That's a lot to take on financially, making do with the kids. No, that's not true. That's a lot to take on financially. Feeding a family, household expenses, transportation. Sounds like these are really all a big part of what's going on and some of the difficulties you've encountered this week. So how are you managing?
I've been doing what I have to do.
Hmm.
You know, it's not something that I want to do, but I have a few guys that see me regularly and they pay me pretty good money.
Okay. Well, I know last week you had talked about this really isn't the kind of life you want to be living right now, and having some of these things that are happening with CPS and being called and reported on things, not what you really were hoping for, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm hearing you say is that, look, I really just need to feed my kids and I need a place to stay, and this is the easiest way I can go about doing it. And it's working for me right now. Is that right?
Yeah, I've been raising kids since I was 14 when I had my first one, and trying to finish school. I really don't know how to get a job. And do you think I like leaving my kids alone while I go to see the guys? I know it's risky, but what else am I supposed to do?
Right. I hear you say how important those kids are to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows in the way you've taken care of them in the past.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like maybe things just got a little overwhelming for you, and choosing to do this was just a really quick answer, and you were able to make it financially for a little bit. You know what? There's a lot of people who feel this way, and I think there's a lot of people too who go about things this way.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not alone. You're not, All right. So Roz, I know your kids are really important to you, and that's really shown in the way that you've cared for them in the past. You're not the only one with this problem. I know that there are a lot of people who are making some of these choices just based on their needs right now, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's all I had for that. I totally ad-libbed that piece.
You did a good job.
Did I do a good job?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But then, like,
Okay.
that's why I'm like
Yeah.
looking where you're confused, because it has a line for you and then a line for you on the next page.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. I'm like, did something...
Do you have cheerleading, normalizing, radical, genuine acceptance at the top of the next page?
No. Doc, I don't have that page.
Did it miss a page?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, so we'll just pass it back and forth.
Okay.
So it's first you.
Is it at the top of the page?
Yeah.
Exactly. I have some friends who got me into it, and for them, you know, it makes them money and it's their only source of income, so that's all that they have. But I want to have a real job, something that, you know, my kids and my family can be proud of. I don't want my kids to grow up thinking, you know, realize what I've been doing and look down on me.
Right. Well, and you have to remember too, Ron. Oh, here, yeah.
Sorry, I
That's
didn't
right.
know.
No, that's okay. I already read the
Oh.
So, well, again, Roz, like you talked about last week, you've made some really positive shifts in life for you the past couple of years. You have been able to kind of get things back on track with the kids. You lived with mom for a little while, and then you were able to get out on your own and be independent.
Mm-hmm.
You've done a really great job with that. I know it shouldn't take too much to get you back on track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess, but I feel like I've hit a dead end.
Okay. I have no idea what it's next. Well, I know that might feel like it might. I'm so glad we're editing this.
I know.
I'm so glad.
Are you trying to memorize it, or are you just
Yeah,
not
I'm just
sure?
trying to memorize
okay.
Okay. Well, I know it might feel like that right now, but you did talk about a few goals you wanted to work on last week, so why don't we take a deeper look at those and see if we can't work together to get things back where you want them.
Okay.
Great. Okay. You say there, I guess I don't even know if that's possible. That's what your next line is. I guess I don't even know if that's possible.
I guess, but I don't even know if that's really possible.
Okay, well, let's take a look. So last week we visited and you were pretty upset. You had tipped the table over. You were feeling pretty overwhelmed at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see that controlling your emotions was something that maybe you really struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
And you expressed you wanted to explore that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you've shared this week now a little bit more about the urgency of really needing to increase your income, make sure the kids are getting taken care of, and find a job that you can do while the kids are in school and daycare. Do I have those goals right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And oh yeah, here I'm gonna hand this to you because it's a longer one.
Okay. Alright, I'm on I can't lose my kids?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I don't want to lose my kids. They mean everything to me. But this is what I'm doing right now is the only way that I know how to make money. I don't have anything else. And I feel like that's never going to change. I don't have any skills, and I've always had problems dealing with people. And everyone tells me I have a problem with my temper, and that's usually what gets me in trouble.
Yep, I could see how quickly you became escalated last week when we talked about some of the struggles that you were going through.
Mm-hmm.
How does handling your emotions in that way work for you?
Work for me? It doesn't. I get super upset really easily, and this usually means I get angry and aggressive. I mean, not with my kids. I would never get angry with my kids. But sometimes people just really piss me off, and I go pretty quickly to spouting off or, knocking tables over like I did last week. But they all deserve it. My neighbors, my landlord, they have no right to turn me in, and it's none of their business what's going on.
Well, I can see you're getting overwhelmed for sure. These are some things that are really bothering you, and you're kind of feeling like they violated maybe some of your privacy. Is that right?
Yeah, they did.
That's great. Do you have the next sheet?
Is it? So,
Yeah,
oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe just taking the kids and getting out of town is what I should do. I'm damn tired of everybody knowing my business. I'm sick of it.
Okay, Roz. Oh. Roz.
What?
Okay, so I can see that this is a triggering event for you, and you're feeling a lot right now. So can you tell me a little bit more about what's going on for you?
Well, I'm pissed. You're all out to get me. Every single one of you.
Okay, so like you said earlier, this doesn't work so well. And let me start that over.
Okay.
Together we can figure it out. I can see why I can see why you're getting pissed. You have a lot on the line right now. Yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah. Like you said earlier, you have a lot on the line right now. You're concerned about having your kids taken away. You're concerned for your safety. It seems like it's really hard, and I can understand why you're getting upset. I know it's hard to try something new in the moment, but I am wondering if maybe just now we can try something to maybe help you calm down.
Why? So you can get more information out of me?
Well, right now, I really don't want to get any more information out of you. I'd really like to work on some skills and strategies to help calm things down for you. And if that's all we get done today, that'll be just fine. How does that sound?
I guess.
Okay, great. So Roz, thanks for being really, let me start that over because that was the good part in my last video. Okay, Roz, well, thanks for being really willing to try something new. I know in the past you've made some pretty good changes, and I think we can start today too. But no. To give change, I can imagine it's difficult, a bit scary. Okay, Roz. Well, thanks for being so willing. I know this is probably a little bit hard and maybe even a little bit scary for you, but I think together we'll be able to find some skills and strategies that'll work for you. Okay?
Yeah.
Great. So can you tell me what just happened a couple minutes ago? Just kind of what were you feeling?
I'm missing a page.
Okay. You know why? Because it's double-sided
Oh,
and you
yeah.
probably only did
Yeah.
one side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That makes sense. Sorry.
Don't be sorry. Where am I at? Okay, so you can tell me just what happened a few minutes ago. Pissed. What were you feeling? Did I say that?
What just happened a few minutes ago?
Okay, let me redo that because it says, what were you feeling?
Okay.
And then you say, pissed. I was feeling pissed.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Roz, so can you tell me a little bit more about what was happening for you just a few minutes ago? What were you feeling?
Pissed.
Okay. As you were. Okay. Okay, so Roz, as we explore some of these pieces that might trigger you, you might continue to feel pissed. And, yeah, I don't know. Oh, this is the deep breathing. Okay. All right, okay. So Roz, as we continue to talk about some of the things that might trigger you, you might feel a little bit triggered. You might want to go into that kind of that pissed mode again. And I'd like to try some deep breathing with you to see if maybe that calms things down. And I'll do it with you. Does that sound okay?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay. So let's kind of get comfy in our chair and just relaxed a little bit. And we'll start by taking some breaths, a breath in through our nose and out through our mouth. And maybe we'll just try this for 3 times and see if we can feel any shift in our bodies. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, and then right out through our mouth. Another one. And the last one. Okay, Roz. Well, I can see already that your shoulders have come down a little bit. Your hands are kind of loose. You look a little more comfier in your chair.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice any changes with that? That was much better. Oh, all you say is, yeah, I guess. It's really easy to do when nothing's really happening.
Yeah, I guess, but it's really easy to do it when nothing's going on.
It is. And I know that you may feel like nothing's really going on, but already you've shifted how your posture is in relation to where you were when you were feeling really pissed earlier. And yeah, okay, so that's good, but let me continue on. Okay, so let me also review with you, Roz. Did you feel any differences in your body? Did you feel more tense when you were feeling pissed? Did you feel any muscle groups that maybe were tight? Anything like that? Did you notice that?
Am I just supposed to say yeah?
You were like, what? Signs? And I don't even think I said, like, what? I don't know what I was feeling. I just got pissed. So think about that. Yeah, go ahead and say something to that effect.
Okay. What? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what I was feeling. I was just pissed.
Okay. So the signs that we might be looking for are those things. Our muscle groups get really tight. We might even kind of tighten up all of our bodies, and afterwards we might even feel tired. Do you ever have times when you might feel something like that leading up to getting angry? And then this is where you say, oh, well, I guess sometimes I do notice that I clench my teeth before I burst. Is that a sign?
Okay, well, sometimes I'll like clench my teeth right before I burst. Is that a sign?
Yeah, that is absolutely a sign. And that kind of gives you a sense for, I'm clenching my teeth, something is about to happen. And it gives you a moment to kind of just reflect back on what might be coming up for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's the time that you might want to use that deep breathing skill that we just learned.
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like a link in a chain. You know, first you are, oh, let me start over.
Okay.
Scratch that, because I want to use that linking piece. Yeah. Okay. So wow, yes, absolutely, Roz. That is a definite sign that things are getting a little overwhelming for you. And I like to think of those signs as links in the chain. And so you have this little episode of you're clenching your teeth, and it may seem like nothing to you. That might be the sign for you that, gee, something's happening for me. I'm feeling overwhelmed. And then you can use that deep breathing exercising that we did. Sometimes those are really important to notice, whether it's clenching your teeth or your shoulders are going up. Yeah, those are all signs. Nice. And then you say, I just don't, oh, do you have that page?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay.
I was just making sure I was on the right spot.
Yeah, you are.
I just don't see how that's going to help me.
Okay. Well, let's continue on with our discussion about some of the ways that we can work together and get things back on track for you. And if we need to, we can practice some of that deep breathing again. Okay?
Yeah, I guess that's fine.
Okay. So one of the goals you talked about was finding a real job. Can you talk to me a little bit more about what a real job might mean to you?
Well, to me, working at a real job is like going to a business or a restaurant. Those are real jobs, you know, where you get a paycheck every week. But I don't have any skills. I don't have the skills that would help me do those things. I just don't even know how I could even try getting one. This is stupid. Why would I even bother to try? Maybe I should just keep meeting up with the guys during the day when the kids are at school. See? Problem solved.
Well, that is one way of problem solving, for sure. Kind of keeping things just the way they are, right? But sometimes seeing it all written down can really help us look at what's working for us and then what's not working for us. And so really identifying some of those pros and cons can help us maybe do a little bit more problem solving and figure out a real solution that'll work, not just in the short term, but in the long term as well. Would you be willing to try that with us?
Yeah, all right.
Okay, great. All right. All right, so I'll give you the paper and pen then. Okay.
Do you want to say something along
So-
the lines of like, okay, take this paper. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna do
okay,
that.
okay.
So last thing I want you to say is say yeah, okay, one more time, and then I'll say, okay, Roz, what do you want to start with, pros or cons?
Okay.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, great. So here is a pen and a pad. And what do you think you want to start with, the pros or the cons?
The pros.
Okay, great. So what are some of the pros of just kind of keeping things the same and doing what you're doing now?
I don't have that paper.
Oh yeah, you don't?
No. It's on the next page.
Okay. Oh yeah, here you go.
Thanks.
And then you can be reading and writing, like pretending that you're writing these things down too.
Okay.
I think that'd be okay.
Okay, well,
And what's my line, just so I can continue on?
definitely have to eat a list
Okay,
of
good.
pros for
Yep.
sure. And then
Okay.
let's look at some of the cons.
Okay.
Okay. Well, some of the pros are that the kids won't be home during the day. Most of my okay, let me start with my neighbors.
Waivers.
Yeah. Okay. Well, one of the first pros is that the kids won't be home during the day. And then my neighbors won't be home either because they'll be working, so they won't be able to rat on me. And I'll have money every week because I'll have the guys coming, and I'll be able to pick the kids up from school. I'll be able to see them, and I won't have to leave them at home alone anymore. I never really thought of this before, but I kind of like being needed by the guys. I'm not in it for a relationship, you know, just the money. It's immediate money, and it lets me pay. It's immediate money, and it lets me pay what I need to pay for, so that's a win in my book.
Sure. That's a great list of pros that you have for sure. So why don't we look at some of the cons? What are some things that maybe just aren't working so well for you, just doing what you're doing?
Okay. Well, it still isn't a real job. It's not something I can put on my resume, and it's dangerous. A lot of the guys are bigger than me, and sometimes they'll come in high or drunk, and I don't know what they're gonna do to me if I don't want to do something that they don't want to do. And if they were coming to my I don't think I would really like that because that's where my kids live. I don't want to bring, I don't want my kids to kind of be exposed to that in that way. It can get pretty stressful sometimes, There's a fear of getting caught, and I know that people don't like it because of the thrill, but I don't really like that. Sometimes I think of my kids and then it makes me feel like a bad mom. Sometimes I lie to the other moms at school and I just tell them I work in a law office as a secretary. It doesn't feel good to tell those lies. I guess the biggest con is that if I get caught, I will lose my kids and I might not ever get them back. I just don't know what to do.
Okay. I hate using the word prostituting, and I say it funny too.
You say it funny?
I think I say it funny.
I think you sound normal when you say it.
Good. Okay. Okay, Roz. So you've got quite a few reasons to maybe change some things and not prostitute, right? I mean, your kids, they're the most important thing to you.
Yeah, I've worked hard to get the ones that I have back, and I want to be able to have all of them back. I want to keep them.
So Roz, I know how important your kids are to you. So why don't we look at just immediate needs? What are some of your immediate needs for just this week? Okay.
I don't know what needs are.
There you go.
Okay. Well, I need diapers and I need food for Ruth, and I can't afford a cab. Sorry, let me start over.
It's okay.
Okay. Well, I need diapers and I need food for Ruth, and I don't have a way to afford a cab to get Lois to her well baby checkup. And if I don't go, it's going to be another call to CPS, which means they're going to be showing up again. The thought is just overwhelming.
What's my line? Just tell me what it is.
Okay, I can send over a referral to the No Bottoms Left Behind agency who give emergency supplies of diapers, as well as send you down to temporary assistance to see if they can help you with your food needs.
Okay. So Roz, I actually have the ability to send, I don't want to say that because that sounds like I have a power thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you can answer just yes when I ask you about a referral. I'm just ad-libbing this section.
Okay.
Okay, Roz, I do have the ability to get some referrals for you. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so there's an agency locally called No Bottoms Left Behind.
Mm-hmm.
They can certainly help you with some diaper needs, some food needs for Lois and the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can also send down a referral for temporary assistance. They might be able to help you with any gas money that you need or some immediate rent that you might need to pay as well.
Mm-hmm.
How does that sound?
That sounds good. Is that something that can be done right now?
Yeah, right now, absolutely. And what I'll also do is, if you'd like, I can send over a referral to Lois's doctor and set you up with a Medicab so that transportation shouldn't be too much of a difficulty for you for getting to that appointment. That's, I know, a very important appointment. Where did I start? I don't even know where I started. Okay. Yeah, Roz, right now. What I can do is just send over a referral to Lois's doctor to make sure that transportation is in place for you. If that sounds okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
I don't think I have any more. I am.
Okay, so now I'm on the, oh, and you say, yeah, okay, well, I think that helps.
Yeah, okay, I think that'll help a lot.
Okay, great. So how do you feel about some of these solutions for your immediate needs for this week? You feel great. Oh yeah, no, never mind. Scrap that altogether. I think I can piece together that section.
Where are we right now?
We're introducing a contract.
Am I right below that?
Just above it, I'm going to say that, and then you're coming in there.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Roz, so now that some of these immediate needs are met, how do you feel about considering not prostituting for just this week and see if some of those temporary assistance pieces fill in that gap for you?
I think it's going to be pretty hard. Like, yeah, I'm going to be getting, you know, certain the social services and the diapers, but I don't know if that's going to be enough
Okay,
with the lack of money.
sure, I can see where that would be a concern. Are there any other resources that you feel you might have access to?
I mean, I think my mom would help me.
Okay,
I can always ask her if I really need it.
sure. I think that's a great resource. And she's helped you in the past too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great, Roz. I see some of that determination coming back. You've shown before in really committing to making a change. So let me ask you, if I was to give you a scale of 1 to 10, 1 considering, you know what, I hear what you're saying, but I'm not going to listen and I don't want to do any of this, to 10, I'm ready to go, show me the door, let's get this week on its way. What do you feel you're at right now on that scale?
I don't know. I guess if I think about how badly I want my kids, I would say like a 6.
Okay, great.
But I just don't know if something comes up where, you know, these guys are going to be calling or texting me all week. Saying no might be really hard for me to do.
Right. So have you had to say no or cancel in the past?
There's not a line on here. I don't know what to say.
Okay, good point. Why don't we make a plan to address those times when you're going to have to say no? And then you say, yeah, I don't need, oh, yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Did you say the no might be really hard for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that's a good point. Why don't we make a plan to address those times where you're going to need to say no for this week?
Okay. That would be helpful because I don't even know what I'd say.
Okay. So you've never had to say no in the past, is that right?
Right, because I've always needed the money, so I've always just said yes.
Okay. All right. And you probably don't have the next page, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, again, I understand how important it is to have the money and have it right away. And like you said before, that this is something that is easy for you. What are some of your thoughts on ways that you might be able to avoid being tempted to say yes to a call? Oh.
That's okay.
I was going to give you this, but then yeah, there you go. Yep.
Okay. Well, I guess I could just not answer it all, but sometimes I don't know who's calling, and you know, what if it's somebody from the school calling about one of my kids? But I could just let it go to voicemail and check it later and text back that I can't. Most of my appointments are by text anyway, so I wouldn't have to really worry about a call. I guess I could just say that I'm sick or not feeling well that week.
Okay. What's my line?
Great. Well, let's make sure we both understand the plan. What will you be working to accomplish this week?
Okay. I think that's a great plan. Why don't we just review what our goals are for this week and make sure that we both understand what you'll be doing this week.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go to all those places for the diapers and the food, and I'm going to call the Medicab place and Lois's doctor to get that set up, and I won't accept any appointments for the week, and if I need any extra stuff or extra help, I'm going to talk to my mom about it.
Great. Okay, what's my line?
Right, and don't forget, if you get a request for an appointment and you really feel like you don't want to accept it, call me and I will help you work through staying with what you have committed to, okay?
Okay, good. Right, Roz, that's great. That sounds about what you talked about. Now, if you feel that you get a call and you're having a hard time saying no, I would just ask that you go ahead and give me a call. We'll work through it together so that you can just get over that one obstacle. And if you need to do that more than once this week, that'd be okay.
Okay.
Great. Okay, so where are we at?
Okay, Roz, I know you've got what it takes to get back on track. You've done it before, and with the added support of your DBT group, you'll be well on your way to getting all of your kids back. So, see you next week.
Okay, great. Did you have a line in there after, or you just said no? Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, and then after you say see you next week, I say, yep, okay, see you. So
Okay.
if you want to have it.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay. Okay, Roz, well, I know you've got what it takes to get back on track. We've seen it in you before. And with the added help of the DBT group, which meets another time during this week,
Mm-hmm.
you should have all the support you need. But again, if you need to call, that'd be just fine. I know you've got it. Stop. Just read what's on the paper, Sarah. Okay, Roz, well, I know you've got what it takes to get back on track. You've done it before, and with the added group of, what did I say?
No, I
something?
haven't heard.
I'm like, wait, did
I'm
I
like,
just
oh,
screw
man,
that up?
before I
Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
It's okay, don't be sorry. Okay, Roz, I do know you've got it. Oh my gosh. Okay, Roz, I know you've got what it takes to get back on track, and with the added help of the DBT group, I think you'll be learning all the skills and strategies you need to get your kids back. Okay, whatever. Why can't I just end it? Why can't I? Okay, Roz, well, I know you've got what it takes to get back on track, and with the added help of the DBT group, you'll learn a lot of skills and strategies in addition to what we did today. So I hope you have a great week, and do give me a call if you need to, okay?
Yeah, okay. I'll see you next week.
Great, have a nice week, whatever.
You too.
All right.